Buenos dias. I was hoping I could commission a piece from you. My boyfriend and I's 5 years coming up, and I wanted to get him a piece with a little more TLC. Say less. He doesn't really wear jewelry, but he'll wear a bracelet. I like the wraparound style and was thinking we can make two. One for him and one for me. Awesome idea. Stones, maybe rose quartz. Always a good one. Hematite, one of my faves. Kunzite. I wanted stones that do with grounding, love, and openness, I guess. Kunzite. What is kunzite? Let's look at the beads. Ooh, these are gorgeous. Let's go ahead and order these now. That was quick. Okay, so for this build, we have our 4mm kunzite. So beautiful. And if you're not familiar with kunzite, I highly recommend you looking it up. And then the next thing that we have is one of my favorites, which is 4mm natural hematite. Hematite is just one of those go-to stones for me. I mean, it's like just short of you wearing a traditional jewelry metal like gold or silver, hematite is what gives me that feeling, and it just always makes everything look just a little bit more elevated. And then I got myself some sterling silver dividers. Well, they're normally known as spacers, but I like to call them dividers. Me and my brother call them dividers, but these things I think are going to be really beautiful to go into it. So we have all of our materials, and this is going to be a relatively straightforward build. I'm just making two wraplets, one for him, one for her. Hers is going to be made out of the kunzite that we have here, and his is going to be made out of the hematite that we have here. So let's get into it and see what we can put together for them with the materials that we've been given. Let's do this thing. already pretty much looking like a thing. Let's get you guys closer in here so that you can see what is going on. So let me just mention this. It's really important that whenever you're making bracelets like this, that since you're making it so that it wraps around your arm twice, much like how I actually have my gold bracelet here, you have to keep in mind the measurements of the wrist of the person that you're beading for, even more so than is the case with a traditional bracelet that only goes around once. Now, you would think, well, isn't it as simple as just literally multiplying the diameter of the wrist by 2? Yes, and also no. It's actually a little bit more complicated than that, but since I don't know the exact math to describe it, all that I do is that I make sure that whatever the diameter of my wearer's wrist is, in this case is going to be about 6.5 inches. I take my handy dandy flexible tape measure here and I put it on the inside, and I just make sure that when it is fully stretched out with both layers around, that it actually gets to that point. So right now I still am about 1 layer away from getting this to where I need it to be. So let's continue with the work and get it to that layer. Thought that I was going to have to add one more link, but it looks like it's going to be too big for the pattern, so I'm just going to keep it the way that it is now and tie it up. But fun fact about beading, really important fact, if you look at my hands right now under the camera here, yeah, they may not look like probably the prettiest and most beautiful hands in the world, but they are still a little bit too moisturized right now. And like me and my brother always say, ashy hands are beading hands. And I'm not going to be able to close this with the current moisture that's on my hands. And so I'm going to go wash my hands really quickly with some soap, maybe dry my hands up, and so that I get a little bit more traction, come back and try this again. Be back in a sec. Okay. And so I'm back, and with drier hands than before, and because of that I'll actually be able to close this. So let's get on with it and do that now. Look at that. Wow, that's actually quite nice. We have the sterling silver dividers with the kunzite on the front, and then this AAA hematite, which is just, it's shining so brilliantly, but you guys will see what it looks like afterwards when I take photos. But anyways, now you have, let me see if I can bring this for us. You have the elastic, how it's coming out outside, like your knot is showing. Think about this in the beading world, like having your fly open, and walking around in public with your fly open is not cute. So you need to zip it up. So here is how we zip it up in beadwork. This is why your beading arrangement is so important. So here I have my divider, which has a little bit bigger of a hole than the rest of my pieces do. So I'm just gonna take my knot and I'm gonna slide it inside of my divider. In which case now, hold on, give me a second. You can no longer see the knot. And so to the naked eye, or to the wearer's eye, the piece is endless. And you can't see where the knot is. And that's how it should be. So now when you wear it and you put it on, all you have is just a beautifully crafted bracelet. So we have his done, which is our hematite piece. Now it's time for us to do hers. And hers is just going to be the opposite of his. So how here I have 3 pieces of kunzite, which is supposed to be an accent alongside the rest of the hematite. For hers, I'm going to have 3 pieces of hematite alongside the rest being kunzite. And I'm pretty sure that that's how you pronounce that. Because kunzite sounds like, that just sounds weird to me. So we're going to stick with kunzite. I feel like that's what it is. So kunzite it is. All right, so let me get another piece of my 0.7 millimeter elastic here. Now that we have it, tie our knot up at the end. Double that knot just so that we have a nice stopper. And then we'll get into it just like we've been doing. And head down. Thanks for stopping by as I built his and hers paired bracelets for our couple celebrating their 5-year anniversary. Now, all that's left is for me to get in touch with the client, show them the work that I put together, and for them to enjoy their one-of-one pieces with their one-of-one special person. Check out the photos. Let me know which one was your favorite, his or